How would you define recovery, period?
That's a great question.
I'll give you time to think about it.
I would say recovery is about investing the same amount or more energy than you were previously in whatever patterns you're trying to stay away from into a recovery. So, recovery can look different for everybody. That there's no one right way to do it. Yeah. My name is Will. I am from Independence, Minnesota, and I am a senior here.
Hi, my name is Ollie Farber. I am 20 years old, and I'm from the outside suburbs of Boston.
My name is Van, currently a freshman at UW-Madison. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and currently 18-year-old.
My name is Dante Lucchesi. I'm 25, and I'm a collegiate recovery specialist at Badger Recovery.
There's a big stigma around AA, stuff like that. Just it's known. I mean, it's portrayed in TV shows like that. It's kind of just this depression cave, which kind of is, but but Badger Recovery made me feel comfortable sharing my experiences with other people, because I knew these other people were at UW-Madison, where it's a known party school, and I kind of felt like connecting with the people that are kind of going against that notion. Kind of felt the similar way to me as I'm at this school, but now what do I do?
But I think the only way they're able to kind of alleviate much of that fear is other people. To know that other people struggle with this, and it's so much easier to give compassion to other people. So at first I still struggle with this, but then going to recovery meeting, whatnot, sharing some of my story, and then giving other people compassion and stuff, in a way it kind of helped my own, because essentially it's if other people who in the same boat as me struggling with all this stuff, and I'm giving them grace, giving them empathy, whatnot, I would be a hypocrite if I don't do that for myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so in a way it helped me as well.
We have a bit of a unique take on what a facilitator looks like and what a facilitator does. It sort of just evolved to be that. It was never this is what you're going to do, but we find that conversations, because all of our meetings take sort of topic or discussion style structures, where a topic gets brought up and then the group shares about how it relates to them or what they're struggling with. And the role we play as facilitators is more so just the openers. We share about ourselves. We're not sitting there and going, oh, well, how did that make you feel? Or does anyone else have anything to say about that? While there is immense value in that form of facilitation, we find that in our rooms, right, vulnerability begets vulnerability. And so we typically just open up talking about our struggles we've been having and how we were able to overcome them. And that's sort of the role I play as facilitator.
We facilitate meetings weekly, we host events, and we provide one-on-one support for students in recovery. We support all pathways, meaning that harm reduction is supported.
Yeah. Oh, I like that you brought up all recovery. That one is I think it's a little unique to other collegiate recovery programs or collegiate recovery communities, CRPs and CRCs, in the fact that we support all recovery pathways. And so that includes, substance use, behavioral or process addictions, as well as eating disorders. And we also support harm reduction pathways as well. And so that makes for a very diversified recovery room right? We have to be a little bit more mindful of, because every different recovery pathway has their specific triggers and, their specific, um, norms and mores. And so in order to include all of them, it's presented a unique challenge, but it's also been such a wonderful experience because you recognize like, oh, I didn't know going into this that I would have so much to relate with someone that has anorexia nervosa, right? But in hearing us all share in the same room, it's like we all know what it's like to battle our own self-will and regularly lose and think that we're deficient because of it. And so being in a room where you're sharing those things that you've kept secret and you've kept, shrouded in shame, and you're realizing you're still accepted afterwards, it's a very profound experience.
Kid you not, going to a recovery meeting make me more of an addict in a way.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. It's like I mean, I'm not trying to be cliche, but like relapse is part of recovery. But then I guess also it's a very emotional progress in terms of like going to recovery meeting, whatnot, and for a long time I felt a sense of connection and belonging that I don't have for pretty much majority of my life. So in a way, it is scary that there is something for me to lose. Like when you're at the pit bottom for so long, you just kind of get used to it. But like, once you see like the high, it's like, okay, there's people that actually care about me and all those stuff like that. And like, will they stay here forever? Will they, leave if they know I'm doing this, doing that? It's like a lot of, I guess, fear come back and in a way make me relapse. But at the same time, I think it's very human in the sense that and then that fear of like, I don't know, I'm always doubt myself even when something is good. It's like when I have that doubt, I usually relapse and stuff like that, trying to like numb out the worry and stuff. So, but trying to get used to it, even though you don't feel it. But I think recovery and mental health in general is like, in a way, you have to fake it till you make it. Like, you have to fake that you're doing good and stuff, and eventually after like a year or so, you'll start feeling the actual changes with yourself.
I think Badger Recovery seems more approachable than the outside resources, like Alcoholics Anonymous, based on the stigma, because it's a different program. The kids, or the people in it are going to be around the same age as you, and you don't think that when you go into these spaces, it's going to be just like 6-year-old men in a church basement.
The first time I tried to get sober, I didn't necessarily fully adopt the title addict or like accept that that I have addiction, and so I didn't tap into any recovery community, and I was white knuckling it. It felt like I was holding on. I was not doing well, and so the second time around, I did. I started going to AA. I started being honest with people, and what I found was sort of what I mentioned earlier. It's just a room full of people where as soon as you hear them talk, you're like, hey, like, that's me. Like, I had those experiences. And I thought I was, they call it like terminally unique. Like I thought I was sort of alone and I was the only one making bad decisions. I was the only one thinking the way I do. And to hear a room full of other people thinking the same and they're all smiling and laughing together, like it was incredibly profound. And so naturally I kept coming back.
I'd say we're growing up in a time where we're just told to like not acknowledge failures or weaknesses because they're weak. And like social media, especially like just this digital age, I feel like it's mental health is misrepresented, and the more that we can share and understand others and where they're actually at, the more we can kind of collectively get better and recover. So